fraction. Okay, here's the starter today. Now, part A says, what is 12 inches divided by 3 inches? And we're going to compare that to 12 inches, 12 inches divided by 3, and we're going to compare that to 12 inches divided by 3 inches, because they mean different things. What is 100 miles divided by 20? What is 100 miles divided by 20 miles per gallon? Means something different. So, if we show our work here, which says, well, 12 inches divided by, and we're going to show division as a fraction, divided by 3. Well, 12 divided by 3 is 4. And you're left with inches. Because all we're doing is we're saying, okay, what's 1/3 of 12 inches? Okay, it'd be 4 inches. So you're just taking a fraction of the length and you get that fraction of the length. You're not changing what it is that's being measured. Okay, you're just taking a third of a foot, basically. A third of 12 inches is 4 inches. But if you ask this question, what is 12 inches divided by 3 inches? You have 12 inches, and you're saying, basically when you do this division, you're saying, how many groups of 3 inches are there in 12 inches? Well, what would it be? It would just be 4 all by itself. In other words, if you took a ruler and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there's 12 inches right there. And this top one, all you're doing is say, okay, we're going to divide this in by 3. And so into 3 equal lengths. And each one of those lengths is 4 inches long. But in here we're saying how many groups of 3 inches are there? Well, here's 3 inches, and here's 3 more inches, and here's 3 more inches, and here's 3 more inches. So there's 4 groups. So there's no units with this. You're just saying there's 4 of them. Okay? So there's a difference between these two things, and I want you to think about it very, very, think about it, because it is kind of hard to explain. I can try, but I think if you do a lot of thinking about it, it'll make sense. Now, number 2 is a little bit more sophisticated. Here we have 100 miles, and you're dividing it by 20. So what do you get? Well, 100 divided by 20 is 5. 5 miles. Okay, so you're taking 100 miles, you're dividing it up into 20 pieces, and each one of those pieces is 5 miles long. Doesn't that make sense? Okay. But in this problem, you're doing something else. You're saying 100 miles divided by 20 miles per gallon. So what's my answer? Well, 100 divided by 20 is still 5. But 5 gallons. It's 5 gallons. Yeah, 5 gallons. I'll just abbreviate it. Okay? So, in other words, like, this is how far you got to drive, and this is how much, the mileage of your car. So this will be how many gallons of gas you're going to burn up as you drive to wherever you're going in that 100 miles. This is different than this. It means something different. You get the same answer, the numbers are the same, but the units tell you a different story. Now let me show you this in a little bit more detail right here. And this will, by the way, if you're taking chemistry for the first time, this will really help you. You say 100 miles, and I'm going to put it over 1. And then we're going to divide it, so I'll put it in the bottom here, by 20 miles. Now, remember when you would divide, remember your compound fractions, when you would divide by a fraction? Let's say you have like 4 divided by 1/3. Now, what did you do when you did this little, you probably did this in the 6th grade. Remember, you reciprocate and multiply, right? So you go, okay, this is 4 times 3 over 1. And you would get 12, okay? Okay? Now, basically, in this question, say if you have 4 things and you divide those things into thirds, how many thirds do you have? Well, you have 12 thirds. If you have 4 pizzas and you divide each one of those pizzas into 3 pieces, or into thirds, you'll have 12 thirds of a pizza. That's kind of what's going on here. Well, you can do the same thing here. We can reciprocate and multiply, but you reciprocate and multiply with the units. This is miles per gallon. So reciprocate. So you put gallons over miles, just like we put 1 over 3. We went 3 over 1. Miles per gallon, put gallons per mile. But you got to keep that number on the bottom. And then you can treat the units just like they're factors. They can cancel. What is a mile divided by a mile? It's 1. It cancels. And so now you have 100 divided by 20 is 5 gallons. Okay. Now this is called dimensional analysis. It's the most useful thing you're going to learn in here or in your chemistry class, actually, unless you become a chemist. But dimensional analysis you can use the whole rest of your life to help you solve problems. Any questions on this? Does this make sense to you guys? Okay. This is good stuff. All right. That is all.